Right now, your brain is lying to you. It is telling you that you are awake because there is something dangerous nearby. It is scanning the room, replaying the conversation you had at 2 p.m., calculating tomorrow. It is doing everything except the one thing you need it to do. And here's the part that nobody in the sleep industry will tell you. That is not a malfunction. That is your ancient nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do: keep you alive. The problem is that your brain cannot tell the difference between a charging predator and a late-night notification. But there are people who have lived in actual danger, life and death environments, and they learn to shut that system off in under 2 minutes flat. Tonight, I'm going to show you precisely what they did and how you can do it starting in the next 4 minutes. My name is Dr. Silas Kincaid. This is the Mind Take channel, where we take the breath so we can grow the life. Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you got into bed and actually fell asleep within a few minutes? Not 20 minutes of scrolling, not staring at the ceiling, running a board meeting in your head. Not that strange limbo where you are technically lying down, but your nervous system has absolutely no intention of going anywhere. If that description fits you, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not a chronically anxious person. You are not one of those people who just can't sleep. You are a high-functioning human being living in 2026, and your threat detection system has been hijacked by a world it was never designed for. Here's the neuroscience in plain language. Deep inside your brain, there is a structure called the amygdala. Its entire job, its only job, is to protect you. For most of human history, that meant physical threats, a sound in the dark, a shadow moving at the edge of the firelight, and when the threat passed, your body released the tension, your heart rate dropped, and sleep came naturally. That system still works exactly the same way today. The difference is the input. In 2026, your amygdala cannot distinguish between a predator at the cave entrance and a late-night notification. It cannot tell the difference between a physical enemy and a deadline living in your calendar app. Every notification you did not respond to, every conversation you replayed on the drive home, every piece of news you absorbed before bed, your brain processes all of it as low-grade threat data. And what does a threat detection system do when it detects a threat? It stays on. So when you lie down and your mind starts racing, that is not weakness. That is your survival architecture doing its job. The tragedy is that it's doing it at the wrong time, in the wrong century, for the wrong category of threat entirely. And trying harder to fall asleep, counting backwards from 300, breathing deeply while your jaw stays clenched shut, that makes it measurably worse, because effort signals urgency. Urgency signals danger. Danger keeps the system running. What you need is not more effort. What you need is a kill switch. I'm going to tell you something I do not share often. For 3 years of my early research career, I could not fall asleep before 1 a.m. I had every sleep hygiene protocol memorized. I had the blue light glasses, I had the blackout curtains, I had the white noise machine, and I would still lie there at midnight, completely exhausted, while my brain constructed a detailed inventory of everything I had not yet solved. I was not a bad sleeper. I was a scientist who had convinced his own nervous system that the world was one long emergency. What changed everything for me was not a supplement. It was not a new breathing pattern. It was learning about how elite warriors slept. Imagine a samurai in feudal Japan, not the Hollywood version, the real thing. A warrior who could be called to defend a position at any moment, in any weather, with no advance warning. A person whose life depended on arriving rested, sharp, and fully present, and who could not afford to spend 45 minutes trying to fall asleep before a battle. These warriors developed something extraordinary, not a technique exactly, more like a philosophy of the body, a way of commanding the nervous system rather than negotiating with it. They called the underlying principle soft focus, a state where the eyes release their grip, the jaw unclenches, and the mind stops trying to control the environment, where the warrior stops fighting sleep and simply surrenders to gravity.
Here is where the science becomes remarkable. Modern neuroscience has confirmed what these warriors understood intuitively. When you try to force sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the planning and problem-solving region of your brain, stays active. It's monitoring your progress, judging whether you're falling asleep fast enough, calculating how many hours you'll get if you close your eyes right now. That monitoring process is itself the obstacle. In a 2019 study at the University of Glasgow, researchers found that insomniacs who were instructed to try to stay awake with their eyes open actually fell asleep significantly faster than those actively trying to fall asleep. The paradox is documented. The mechanism is understood. The samurai got there first. You don't conquer sleep. You create the conditions for it to arrive. And those conditions are physical before they are mental. Your body must send your brain a specific signal, a signal that says the battle is over. And when that signal is delivered correctly, sleep doesn't take 20 minutes. It takes approximately 90 seconds. I know how that sounds. Stay with me, because what comes next is where we stop talking about it and actually do it. In a moment, I'm going to walk you through the exact physical sequence, step by step, that sends that signal to your nervous system. By the time we reach the end of this section, you will already feel different. Your body will already be responding. Before we go any further, I want you to do something right now. Drop your jaw, just slightly. Let your mouth open slightly, a centimeter or two, and feel the weight of your lower jaw fall naturally. Don't push it, let gravity take it. Bring your awareness to the hinge joint just in front of your ears, the place where your jaw meets your skull. Let that joint soften.
Many people feel a mild warmth here when they do this correctly. That is blood returning to tissue that has been held under tension. Breathe in slowly through your nose. On the exhale, release every single muscle in your face from its job. Your brow, your temples, your cheeks, your lips. Your face is not working tonight. Step 2, the eyes surrender. 30 seconds. With your eyes closed, let your gaze drift gently downward, toward the floor, behind the closed lids. Not forced, not controlled, just allowed. This is the exact position your eyes go when real sleep arrives. If you have ever watched someone drift off, you have seen this, the eyes rolling softly downward just before the lids close completely. You are using that same physiological marker deliberately, intentionally, as a command to your nervous system. Hold the soft downward gaze. If the eyes want to scan or dart, simply return them gently to that downward position. Here is where most people make the mistake. They do steps 1 and 2 correctly. The jaw is released, the eyes are down, and then they check. They evaluate. Am I sleepy yet? Is this working? And the moment they ask that question, the prefrontal cortex reactivates and everything resets. Do not assess. Do not measure. Just continue. Step 3, the heavy limb sequence. 30 seconds. Move your awareness down your body, from your shoulders. Say this internally, slowly. My shoulders are heavy. Do not tense them to release them. Simply acknowledge that gravity is doing its job. Let the surface beneath you hold them completely. Your arms, my arms are heavy. Let them sink. Your hands, my hands are heavy. Let each finger find its resting position, not curled, not stretched. Your hips, your legs, your feet. You are not a person trying to fall asleep. You are weight. You are matter. You are returning to the earth. By this point, approximately 90 seconds in, most people register a measurable drop in heart rate. Breathing is slowed. The room, which felt loud 30 seconds ago, has gone quiet. This is not imagination. This is physiology. Your body has just sent your brain the signal it was waiting for. The battle is over. And now, the mind needs this shutdown sequence. In the next section, I will show you the exact mental technique that prevents the restart loop. The thing that happens when the body is fully released, but the mind tries to bring you back. Here is the problem nearly every person hits at this exact moment. The body is released, the face is soft, the limbs are heavy, the room is quiet. And then a thought arrives. Did I lock the car? What does she mean by that tone? I have a 7 a.m. call and I haven't prepared. And just like that, the loop restarts.
This is the moment that has defeated millions of people using every other sleep method ever invented. And this is precisely where the Summerine protocol separates itself from everything else. Because the answer is not to fight the thought. Fighting a thought is like arm wrestling your own shadow. The harder you push, the more real it becomes. Do not think about it is the single least effective instruction the human brain can receive, because monitoring whether you are thinking about something requires actively thinking about it. Instead, you replace it with nothing, specifically with what I call the blank canvas visualization. Bring to mind an image of a completely white canvas, blank, unmarked, clean, no image on it, no intention forming. Not a white wall, not a white room, a canvas, something that exists specifically for the purpose of receiving an image that has not yet arrived. It is anticipation without urgency, space without demand. Hold that image for as long as you can, 5 seconds, 7, 10. When a thought begins to form, and it will, do not reject it. Simply notice that something appeared on the canvas, and then let the canvas go blank again, like a whiteboard being gently erased by a hand you cannot see. And then, this is the final piece, you introduce what I call the reset phrase. You will choose a single sentence that means absolutely nothing. The meaninglessness is the mechanism, not a flaw in it. Something like, the sky holds no color tonight, or the river moves without hurrying, or simply the word nothing, repeated internally 3 times, slowly. The phrase carries no problem to solve, no emotional charge to respond to, no edge to grip. Your brain's thought generation system looks for meaning. Give it something without meaning, and it has nothing to engage with. The loop cannot restart because there is nowhere to re-anchor. The body is signaling safety, the eyes are resting in their natural descent, the face is released, and the mind has been handed a blank canvas in a phrase with no edges. You are no longer trying to fall asleep. You are simply not awake anymore. Now, let me bring all of this together into one continuous experience. Because what I have just walked you through is not 4 separate techniques, it's one unbroken thread from the moment your head touches the pillow to the moment consciousness releases its grip. Here is how it flows in real time. Minutes 1 through 2, the physical kill switch. The moment you lay down, before you even close your eyes fully, begin the jaw release. Let the mouth part just a fraction. Feel the hinge soften. Breathe in through your nose, and on every exhale, release something. One muscle, one braced shoulder, one held breath. Within 60 seconds, add the eye position. Soft, downward, not scanning. In the second minute, move through the heavy limb sequence. Shoulders, arms, hands, hips, legs, feet. You are not a person trying to fall asleep. Your weight, your matter, you are returning to the earth. Minutes 2 through 3, the mental reset. Bring up the blank canvas. Hold it, soft, present. When something appears on it, erase it gently. Introduce the reset phrase, spoken internally, slowly, 3 times. For most people, somewhere between 2 and 3 minutes in, the transitions start happening on their own. The canvas starts to blur at the edges. The reset phrase sounds like it's coming from a little further away. The body is completely still. That's not you trying. That's sleep arriving. Minutes 3 through 4, the final descent. This minute is not a technique, it's the silence after the last note of a song. Your only instruction, let whatever is happening continue to happen. If your thoughts become strange and nonlinear, let them. That's hypnagogia, the hallway between waking and sleep. Your brain is already crossing the threshold. Anything you experience in this minute is not a problem. It's evidence that the protocol worked. Do not announce to yourself that you're almost sleeping. Do not check. Simply continue to weigh nothing, think nothing, hold nothing. The canvas is blank. The phrase has faded. The body is the floor. That's the complete protocol. 4 minutes, 120 seconds to send the body signal, 120 more to empty the mind, and then a final minute of simply allowing the result to arrive. If you've been dealing with chronic sleeplessness, the kind that has lasted months or years, I want to speak directly to you. The first night with any new approach is rarely the night you should measure it against.
Your nervous system has learned that bed is a place where anxiety happens. That pattern took time to establish, and it will take more than 1 session to fully reroute. What tonight does is introduce a new signal, a new possibility, a different experience. Do not grade yourself. Do not watch the clock.
If the first night you fall asleep in 8 minutes instead of 45, that is a 90% improvement delivered on the first attempt. Give the protocol 3 nights, and in those 3 nights, make one additional commitment. No screens for 20 minutes before you lie down. Not because of blue light mythology, but because your brain needs a clear signal that the information processing phase of the day has ended. The protocol does the rest. There is one thing I want to leave you with tonight. We live in a culture that rewards wakefulness. Hustle culture glorifies the person who sleeps 4 hours and grinds for 20. And somewhere in that story, sleep became weakness, a surrender, a loss of competitive ground. But the samurai understood something that modern performance culture has forgotten entirely. Sleep is not the absence of the warrior. Sleep is what makes the warrior possible. The blade is only as short as the hand that carries it. The mind is only as clear as the rest that preceded it. Every decision you make tomorrow, the patience you bring to your relationships, the focus you bring to your work, the creativity you bring to your life, all of it is determined tonight. This is not a sleep hack. This is a survival protocol for the most demanding battlefield that has ever existed, the modern human life. You take the breath so you can grow the life. That is what this channel is built for. Not shortcuts, but the deep, proven, sometimes ancient intelligence that has always been available to those willing to take it seriously. Before you go, 3 quick things. First, if this protocol worked for you, or if you know someone who is lying on their ceiling tonight, share this video with them. This information costs you nothing to pass on. It might give them back something they have not felt in years. Second, I want to know, what is the thought that most reliably wakes you up at night? Leave it in the comments. I read every one, and your answer may shape the next video in this series. Third, if you are not subscribed yet, this channel publishes 1 new protocol every week. No filler, no padding, just the techniques that actually change how you perform, recover, and think. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. And speaking of what comes next, the follow-up to this video covers the morning alertness protocol, how to go from horizontal to fully sharp within 90 seconds of opening your eyes. It pairs directly with everything we built tonight. The link is right above this video. I'll see you there. Take the breath.